Hey guys, Splitzelman 945 here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I am going to be going through my top 10 anime of 2024. Um, Pretty simple video, and I know that obviously, fall 2024 was like the first time I kept up with a season of anime. So, but I feel like I've watched enough shows this year to be able to make a concurrent list, which is what I'm going to do. And then next year, um, uh, I'll have watched a lot more shows kept up seasonally. So I will be able to give a much, I guess, maybe more of a varied opinion about the kind of shows that would be on the list. But it might also just be the popular things. We'll see. Um. Anyway. To get into this list, at number 10, we have Solo Leveling. Um. Solo Leveling was just a fun show. Solo Leveling to me was just a fun concept, fun action. The characters and world building were not very deep, but they also did not need to be at all. Um, and it was just an enjoyable watch. Simple as that. Um, at number 9 is Dragon Ball Daima. Daima was literally everything that I wanted out of it and more. Um, it like I was just excited for more Dragon Ball content, but it has gone above and beyond the expectations that I personally had for it, which I think were much lower than other not much lower, but different than other people because I didn't really care about the plot or anything like that. And yet, in spite of that, it still has managed to give a really interesting plot about the whole the demon realm and Majin kind and everything like that. The animation and fights have been absolutely incredible. It's been such a joy to watch, and oh my God, I cannot even explain the ridiculous levels of hype I felt uh in the most recent episode at Vegeta Super Saiyan 3, and I'm so glad I'm recording this video now because holy freaking crap, dude. I was so excited about that. Like, that is a brilliant decision and one I never, ever saw coming. I have been really enjoying Donna. I don't know how many episodes it's going to be, um, but uh, I will enjoy it for every Friday that a new episode releases. Um, Speaking of things that were exactly what I wanted, number 8 is Re:Zero Season 3. Obviously, the first half of it has just aired, so hence I will be talking about the next 8 episodes um, in whenever I talk about the anime winter 2025. Um, but this season has given exactly what I wanted. Um, which was super, super fun. Um, Super fun character interactions. Continuing the fantastic world building. Um, Continuing the fantastic Subaru and Emilia relationship moments. Continuing Subaru being a fantastic protagonist. Continuing the amazing and extremely passion felt animation um and just being and also like bringing in all the characters together so far and having them all interact with each other was just fantastic. It was an amazing follow-up from season 2, and after the much like deeper character focused side adventure that was season two, this brings back the other format that season one had, made it super entertaining, and I love it. This was a great first half of the season, and I'm super excited for February 5th when the next eight episodes airs. Um or begins airing rather. And number seven is Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Part 2. Now, if you remember from my Mushoku Tensei video back in October, um, I I've never been more conflicted about a piece of media than Mushoku Tensei, and I'm not going to speak much on it here. To be honest, because of the way it ends, I had a hard time even including it on this list at all because of just how much it just goes to absolute shit. But um at the end of the day, I could not deny to myself that this season had some of the best character writing in any anime I've ever seen. Like just disregarding the stuff that goes to shit. Um, and that is why it's on this list, but also why it's not any higher. And number six, pretty standard pick that's probably on everyone's list, Dandadan. Dandadan has an insane premise, incredible animation from Science Saru that was such a passion project. You can really feel it. The dub was great, which was simulcasting, and I ended up watching that because it was doing that. It was fantastic. The action was great. The concept was just so funny, and every episode was more insane than the last. The characters were great. Episode seven was really good. And it was emotional storytelling at a very high bar. Um, and yeah, I just Don every single week was just extremely enjoyable, and I had such a good time with it. Number five is Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, The Conflict, or 4-3. Um, this was just like I really enjoyed Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, the first two cores, but this one was just on another level of quality. Like the plot twist that happened, the animation was a jump up. The fights were so good. You learned so much about a lot of different characters, and this was just consistently incredibly high bar of entertaining every single Saturday. Um, Now, another thing that came out on Saturday that was just absolute masterpiece is Orb on the Movements of the Earth. So not only is this another MAPPA anime, uh, where they're just proving there this the Go Studio, um, with really nice looking art style and animation. Um, the thing that really the premise is so interesting. I've talked about it before, so I'm not going to repeat myself. Um, but I love the topic that it surrounds, and as I mentioned in my seasonal anime video, the biggest strength of Orb by far is its ability to be invested in the characters. Um, like it begins with you invested in the plot, and then it keeps you with the just absolutely incredible character writing. The character writing is just the biggest strength of this show by far, and the episode that aired last Saturday was possibly the best one that has happened so far, which is crazy to say because there's been like that's like one of three that I could have named that was like so far maybe the best episode. Um, and I am super, super happy that this is continuing airing into this season, which probably means I will mention it as well in my when I talk about anime of winter 2025. Um, but this season was just absolutely fantastic. That season, Overpost so far has been just absolutely brilliant, and I am so so excited and fascinated and invested to see how the show will end. Um, definitely, definitely recommend Orb if you're not giving it a watch because it is just fucking brilliant. Now number three, this probably should not be much of a surprise considering um um I got into MHA this year. I'm now a big, big MHA fan. But my number three is MHA season seven because man, season seven was fucking incredible on a lot of levels. I think it was a perfect follow up from season six, and it just had um so many amazing character interactions and character fights and episodes and everything like that. And every single one that happened with the Todorokis and Ochako and Foya. Yeah. Were just they was it Toga, no, Toga. Um Toga were just incredible. And then oh my god. And then like you had the Deku versus Shigaraki fight, which was amazing. And then the All Might versus All for One rematch. Man, I cannot even explain the amount of emotions I felt at that. It was fucking brilliant. It was such an incredible season on so many levels, and I'm so looking forward to the final season in 2025 and how the series will end. And number two is Delicious in Dungeon. Now, uh, Delicious in Dungeon is a fucking fantastic show. And honestly, I was kind of blown away by how much I freaking love Delicious in Dungeon. Um, Delicious in Dungeon is about brave adventurers who eat monster food. And it's such a creative concept, and the way that it's explored, like all the different kinds of monsters that you well, like you get to know that the main characters are just fantastic, and there is so much amazing comedy and just fun to this anime. And then about halfway through, you you reach the goal that they were trying to reach of killing the dragon, saving Fallon, and then um and while you hadn't realized it, you were learning slowly little bits about the dungeon, which overall meant that this anime had such fantastic world building. And not only is that incredible amount of world building paid off here in this climax at halfway, but the the dark and emotional storytelling and character development that comes out of that was amazing. And it was something I never expected from the initial premise of this show. And I am so, so excited for a season two whenever it's gonna come out. Because it's just gonna be fantastic. I know. Um, um, one quick um honorable mention. Um, is Elusive Samurai because honestly, when I made this list, I completely forgot about it. Uh, and it was something I watched back in September, maybe September, or October. And it was oh yeah, I watched it right after Delicious Dungeon actually. So it was I think October, September, October, something like that. It was a really good show, had a really fun concept, and absolutely gorgeous animation and incredible action. And um, it definitely would be on this list, but I am too lazy now to figure out where it would actually go. So it just gets an honorable mention because I really enjoyed it. But it would probably be somewhere on this list if I hadn't forgotten about it. Now, my number one is Hibiki Euphonium Season 3. Now, I watched all of Hibiki Euphonium for the first time this year back in August, and I loved it. Um, I, I've mentioned this multiple times in other videos, on the podcast especially, but I have played tuba since like sixth grade, a long, long time, and I still am in college. Um, and this show was fucking amazing. It's one of those shows that I think was just literally built for me because it's a high school concert band anime that focuses on the low brass. And um and man, the you come for it being a music and band related anime, and let me tell you, the performances, what you come for, and the music and the animation of the instruments, just you Kyoto Animation did an incredible job on this show. Um and I was just blown away by how beautiful the instruments look and everything like that, and and how the instruments actually were animated correctly. I know that's like a super like common meme about like instruments never being animated correctly. You won't find them animated better than this show. Like concert band instruments, never than this show, in my opinion. Um, uh, the animation was beautiful and the way that the performances looked were just stunning is the only word I can think of. Like they were just stellar. And and not only that, but the music that came from the entire show in general, but also the performances was just this was a music anime and the music fucking slaps and it's amazing. But the best thing about this show is the character drama because there is no way in hell that you would expect a uh high school concert band anime to be so good with the character dramas. And I kind of talking about the show in general, I realized, but this is especially about season three. The reason that it is at number one is because the way that it uh just like the other seasons, introduces new characters and concludes their character arcs in the same season. Something the entire show does really well, but season three does it the best. Um, and the way that it concludes every single character relationship and character arc in an incredibly satisfying way, and the way that the ending was just literally perfection. Um, I love this show. Season three was incredible, and thus it is my favorite anime of 2024. Um, and yeah, that is gonna do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and uh, I will see you later. Bye.